Yo, going live. Gonna find me a good little spot to do videos. So I probably gonna be seeing more of the live videos, but matter of fact, I'm about to roll up a little herb. It's mostly I just kind of want to do this one, somewhat on a Q&A type of vibe. Uh, just kind of peeping the atmosphere of what y'all, talking about on an open vibe. Just want to speak to like you know, imagine a world if we like say for instance how we got all these metaphysical abilities with being poisoned. You know what I'm saying? Think about how advanced we would be if we gave all these poisons up. Like I think I said in the other video, I was like, don't forget that they're trying to replace your telepathy with the television. You know, it's like it's trying to get you to rely on technology and put away your own internal technology. You know what I'm saying? On that vibe. Blessings to y'all. Got a few people. All right, see y'all. Michael D. Lane, D. Line, blessings. Theo Dion Freeman, peace and blessings. Heidi, blessings. So, what's up, y'all? Matter of fact, I wish I could smoke my little blunt when I'm finished, but I'm at a little park. Matter of fact, what's funny, I don't know how that works. I'm right by like it's Grand Central Park in LA, and it's like in between two courthouses. Like I don't know how the herb rules go around the courthouse out here. No, back home I would have been got hacked up. Peace, three-eyed angels, Rashad, Cat, Cat Josephine. Like I said, every time Josephine make me think of that Josephine Johnny. Lord, matter of fact, y'all find that I'm being more facetious and human-like because these energies are allowing for me to balance a little more, and just in general for my own growth, I've been realizing just to implement more and more balance. You know, I pay attention to the fact that if I'm being too overly like I'm on a high vibration vibe type of thing, then subconsciously I'm kind of getting into that vibe of trying to, starting to feel like I'm against the lower vibe, like I'm against something, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, I gotta stay in that balance, please. Ain't nothing against nothing. I'm just growing and transmuting energy. It's not me against the government or the one percenters or none of that, It's me dealing with my internal body, me dealing with my insides to create a different situation outside of it. And I do want to speak to the how much of a chess game things is. Oh, I was talking about Harmony 219, blessings. Rojo Casey, blessings. Joshua James, blessings. Yeah. Blessings, y'all. Matter of fact, a security guard just passed by me. But anyway, what was I just speaking on? Was I speaking on imagine the world with I'll get back to it. I got a few little notes. Matter of fact, to not be too loose, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, speaking of not being too loose, so the whole aspect of like at one time when I was so, why my videos were seeming a little more spaced out because I was more in that feminine vibe, more of that chaotic, creative, non-grounded, non-logical vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like reason why, Source looked for that physical existence, or Source created that devil, aka our physical existence, because the non-physical existence was too chaotic. Imagine being in a realm, like just a little dark realm where everything, you know, uh, dark, and all kind of stuff is just popping up out of the blue. Like imagine being in the mind of somebody, that just has a lot of thoughts popping up all the time and just random. Like a snake might pop out right here, then a fucking shark, or a big army tank. You know what I'm saying? Like just extremely chaotic. Matter of fact, when I think about the existence of the primordial, more feminine existence of source, I think about like the cartoons that have like most of the time it's superhero cartoons where they banish uh, a villain to a certain they banish a villain to like this realm, and they be like in this darkness. For matter of fact, like Doctor Strange, like that being as in a dark realm, in that chaos. And it's like, man, fuck this. Like, and most of all of them got that vibe of like, bro, it's too chaotic in this motherfucker. You don't know what I've been through in this realm. To a certain extent, almost like some Jumanji type of shit, but but without physicalness. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, imagine going to like a chaotic Jumanji type of realm, but where you're not grounded physically, so you're just floating around with all kind of shit just chaotically going on around you, and you don't have no sense of direction, so you gotta just go with the flow. Exactly like how the feminine energy is, like existing where you just going with the flow. Oh well, if you about to float into this volcanic energy over here, and as soon as you get close to it, though, it disappears. That like, what's going on? It's like chaos. We have to ground our consciousness. That's basically what our physical existence is about: is grounding our consciousness into the physical. And to personify that, just think about this this being here without no sentient beings. If there wasn't no sentience, in essence, there wouldn't be no beings for the non-physical beings to relay a message to manifest something in the physical. You know, because as a spirit, you would kind of like come across something. You'll find some type of sentient being, and be like, hey, procreate like this, and they in essence create a vessel for that spirit to, come down, and then that process just continues to most of the spirits from the spirit realm has a physical vessel to occupy in the physical realm. And two, a lot of my videos, you know, as of late, and more so, like unless I let you know, like, hey, I got this little bit of information from so and so or this and that. For the most part, like, because I've been damn near fasting and eating one meal a day, my energy is back heightened. Plus that Lionsgate energy is coming through, which I already did a video with that and the eclipse. I'ma post that later when I get around a connection. But yeah, blessings. The Healing Light of Tao. Oh, all right, yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a great book. Matter of fact, that's basically all the knowledge that most people be teaching about breathing techniques in essence, and your chi energy is gonna come from that book in essence. Hit me with that. Also, you hit me with that Louisiana. My kinfolk was ham. Mr. Will, Mr. West. Shout out to you. Peace, JBM. Oh man, have you been seeing more chaotic energy in LA lately? I've noticed that Nah, not necessarily, but I keep it real. There's nothing to say, nothing about you, whatever. But it is what it is. Well, whatever we're seeing outside of us, it's going on inside of us. So you may be seeing a little chaos, and ain't nothing wrong. Ain't no good or bad if you got like a little chaotic energy going on inside of you. We go through things, on a certain level, but again, yeah, I haven't been experiencing, nothing too chaotic in LA. Now I keep it real though. That's maybe why I've been vibing more so downtown. Like and you would think like downtown, like the energy. Well, more so because as much as Venice got good vibes, Venice also has a chaotic vibe to it. Just a bunch of sometimes just too many characters in Venice. That's the best way to put it without saying too much. To too just a lot of characters around there. You know, a lot of characters that feel like when you're not looking, they might be talking in their shirt like this. you know. So the Venice area, and as I'm saying that, not that I'm scared or give a fuck about anybody who does talking their shirt like that, but just speaking that, the vibe in Venice is just and this balance is a lot of great energy, a lot of, what I'm saying, good vibes, but it definitely has that aspect of just a lot of fake people as well, hiding in the midst of, the the bohemian hippie vibe, basically. But yeah, yeah, you may be having, a little bit of, and again, nothing wrong with having, a little chaotic energy moving through you right now, because it's stuff happening, but, you know, I haven't really seen it personally, around here, but, yep, the world is our reflection. Thank you, Elias Primero. Blessings. Shout out to all of us on the vibes of, vibing with each other, realizing, you know, transcending our bodysuits, and the colors of our bodysuits, kudos to that. Thanks for the sage. Well, y'all were trying to, unless you're talking to somebody else, I don't remember the sage or what you're talking about. Oh, welcome, Demon Slayer 144. Welcome. Trying to balance myself in between reading these things. The security from Snapchat. Oh, brethren, man, that used to. All right, word. Blessings, bro. Blessings. That's what's up. Like, I remember soon, like, oh shit. New to the channel, welcome, welcome. Matter of fact, all the newbies to the channel, one of my things that I always, tell people, suggest, man, definitely take a look at some of my older videos. Definitely on the phone, I know it takes a lot to scroll back to the older videos. But matter of fact, for myself working on my channel, it takes a while to do things, putting things in certain playlists. But it's all put together, for that process of viewership, like, and you get to see get to see the growth of certain ideas. Where at one point, I might have had a certain type of idea about something, learned a little more information about it, and got a even more mature aspect about information, or whatever word you be trying to find these words to sound so verbose and all that, but it be evading it sometimes. Yeah, definitely. How do you find balance? Well, for one, you got to make it something that's necessary that you're not having to find. You got to know that the balance is within you. You just got to get in alignment with it. The first aspect of balancing yourself is realizing, I guess, what's the characteristics of feminine and masculine energy, aka yin and yang, light and dark. Understanding that aspect, you know, and then in essence, just realizing that it's two sides to one coin, But in which that question, it takes a deeper, what I'm saying? That's a very broad question. How do you find balance? But it's definitely knowing those aspects, though, I just say that learn about the masculine and feminine aspects and how they are within you, and learning how to balance that out. Learn the different energies that polarize. So, say for instance, you know that hot and cold exists. So this is common sense right here. You could answer this for yourself. You know hot and cold exists. Where's the balance in between hot and cold? In the middle, warm, you know what I'm saying? So whatever it takes for you to get to warm in your process, because that's another thing too. I'm not nobody guru. I'm not here to tell nobody how to live. I'm expressing, facts, downloads, opinion, like a mixture of different things, and definitely we're dealing with your spiritual path. It's not up to somebody else to teach you like how to do everything, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta it's about the experience, reason why we here as God experiencing itself is for experience, gotta go through the motions. Oh, just cereal. All right, blessings, fam. Matter of fact, I should soon be shipping out that order, probably tomorrow. Mercedes, follow my Instagram page. You know, matter of fact, that's a part of growth. That that's those little things where I just don't be wanting to get into it with people. Or sometimes I be wondering if I'm in my ego for worrying about like what people like. I want to buy a bracelet, but I don't have a PayPal. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting more to that point of getting to that like outspoken. Like when people say some shit that just like, bruh, like come on, like did you hear what you just said? You hear what you just asked like on some shit. But anyway, like with people dealing with I want to buy your jewelry, but I don't deal with Instagram. Well, you won't have any of my jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. And then people don't fail to realize that how here it is with me running things the way I run things, and then you want me to do things. You want to buy something from me, but you want me to do it the way you do it. Like I don't get down with Instagram in my life because matter of fact, if people fail to realize, I don't. That's what I be not telling some people when they say that. Like when they like Instagram messy and this and that, or just too much. Like no, you have a problem staying away from the mess on Instagram. Instagram is Instagram. You know how many beautiful posts about meditation and crystals and matter of fact, in an oxymoronic or in a paradoxical way, information by telling you to stay away from technology or protect yourself from Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? But it's so much useful information on Instagram, as well. So when somebody like I don't deal with it because of the mess or whatever, that just again that's how indirectly where we read minds or read people indirectly. Like all right, that says that you have a problem not leaving the drama alone, or the people you follow or deal with got drama and you not unfollowing them, so or whatever, like so your Instagram will have that type of energy. I mean, it is what it is. Like I got it on Instagram. Make you an Instagram page just to buy a bracelet from me, and leave it alone. You know, we are grown beings. If you don't have the strength to make a Instagram page to buy a bracelet, and stay away from the mess of it, then there's a lot of spiritual growth to do. Then you know what I'm saying? Maybe you do need to get an Instagram and cop one of these bracelets. Like if you feeling scared of something on that level. Yeah, the Malachi. My Instagram is Universal Frequencies, and it'll have the link to my Epic Lifestyles page where I post the jewelry at. Like what's funny, that's what the basis of me like dealing with videos or record my voice was like I always wanted to be like a radio host or something like a I want to always be a rapper, a musician on some type of level, and definitely like a radio host. I'm saying radio host before podcast because in those time all we had was the radio, so it wasn't I ain't know what no podcast was. All we knew was the people that was the radio personalities, you know. Oh yeah, with being a shaman vibe, nah, there's a bunch of us that don't get initiated by another shaman. You know, I mean, for the most part, most of us in America that's living in this Babylon type of state of being, you know, wasn't grown in no traditional way of being a shaman. You know, but on some other stuff, you know, we some alchemists and going, you know, how can I say, transmute them city vibes into vibing on a high vibrational situation. You know, so to answer that straight up, nah, you don't need no guidance from another person. I mean, honestly, that's why everything just starts off with diet and meditation. You're trying to get your own vibration raised to a point to where you don't have to look for somebody else for the fullness of answers. You know, of course, because say for instance, I still watch videos with my intuition strong as it is, but again, I'm watching it, my intuition like, yep, that part. All my intuition lead me to, you know, watch some of these videos, but at the end of the day, I look within myself for the deepness of answers to, you know, certain situations. You know, to the point where I won't watch videos if I feel like the video has like where the subject matter is a type of subject that's going to allow for that person to elaborate more from their perspective. Then sometimes, depending on the person or the situation, it's like, nah, it don't pay for me to watch because all I'm gonna do is get stained with their mind frame. You know, well, yeah, they might be spilling some truth, but it's also like it's also how can I say, overly drenched in their perception and personality, and not on a they're not expressing it in that mid place in essence, and not that nothing wrong with that, but you know they're being more of themselves. I got videos like that in essence, but you know they're being more of themselves with it, and I know that I'm not gonna get just the straight up information as much as I'm gonna get their idea of how they interface with this information or situation, you know. So on my crystals pre-charge, I don't know what crystals. I mean, I charge I mean, I work with my crystals like people. So whenever I feel they should be charged, they get charged. Whenever I feel they should get rest, they get rest. And I say whenever I feel, whenever they let me know, you know. Uh, I mean, astral projection in essence is again, and I try my best to I do my best to get into the broad subjects of things, but like, and that's another thing too, so let me bring up that, too, because I want to start doing consultations, but I'm not. You gotta Google before you ask me stuff, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not knocking you. Feel free to ask any and all questions in that sense, but just know that something that has a definition or a bunch of definitions that you could look for. Like, don't ask me what is a chakra, why does it spin. It's like, more so like, hey, I did such and such. I started working with this crystal and this happened. What you think probably was the case? You know what I'm saying? Like more in that type of, like I'm more of a consultation type of vibe person. Of course, I got information to share, but but to the astral projection vibe of Demon Slayer 144. I mean, my thoughts on it is just, again, is it nothing to do with you. I'm just going dealing with my own energy, right? But yeah, you would have to ask me something in particular about it. I was trying to go there. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. I gotta check out these other questions and vibes. That's another thing too about being genuine. I could be fake and like, try to, put on a smile and be Pete. As a matter of fact, I caught myself, being programmed to that vibe of thinking that I had to, be like overly nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you gotta be genuine. You gotta be yourself. You gotta be real. You gotta be true. You know, because when you're being fake, it's not before long the universe is gonna back you into a spot where you're gonna have to show your authentic self. And it won't be pretty after you've been faking for so long for everybody to see what the real vibe is about. Yes, that's normal. Cheyenne, or Cheyenne, or Cheyenne. uh, when you're meditating, yes, the heart rate real slow because you're getting into almost into that zero space. You're calming down the body fully. I don't know. I think I gotta go to my comments because somebody else asked if it's a normal thing for like the heart rate to slow down and basically for them to feel like lightheaded, almost like they was about to pass out in essence. I mean, now I wish there's a thin line between that. Of course, if you like feel like you really about to just pass out, you may be holding your breath too much or some of that nature. But definitely, once you start to get so many breaths and you do start to reach a space where and especially with having your eyes closed for so long, you'll start to feel like disconnection with your body. Like you won't feel the boundaries of your body no more. Like you'll just feel like you're just a consciousness sitting in the dark in essence, by yourself.
I don't even look like these bombs walking around here, but I don't even have a house. And most of people tell me, you don't look like you homeless. You look like you homeless. Don't
Like
have
he
it.
said
So
that
that
if
goes
you
to
feel
you right
subject
there.
seeking.
I don't look like I'm
Yeah,
homeless.
thank
Now
you.
look at the homeless that's walking around. They look like they homeless. Because
Oh, the crystals in the
so
jewelry. Yes, I do charge them. I do in most cases I put them on my selenite wine, or I just do like a little meditation over them and clear them and put some good vibes into them. Now I still tell people though, you with anything you definitely still want to sage because it inevitably passed through hands through the mail system, and then two, as I'm walking around, I got them on my Instagram, but I'm also walking around, with them, showing them off and stuff like that. Like sometimes though, if enough of people, like where if I got them somewhere, say for when I used to be on the boardwalk, and there's a lot of people looking and touching, then yeah, sometimes my high self be like, nah, you might want to sage that or at least hit it with some Palo Santo before you ship that out. Take uh, the intensity of all those different energies out of there. But yeah,
shout out to St. Boy, I did this in St. Louis at the same
no book yet, not yet.
St. Louis came together as one and boom, that was the rap. Uh, and I slept amongst killers. You still remember
Once I
when I
you
first
kind
got here?
of
They come over
That's
there
the
and do
thing.
that.
Just act. That's what I'm telling y'all. It's almost like almost like dealing with a cool parent. Like you could ask anything, not gonna get mad at you. Yeah, but if you ask something, is too broad or whatever. Like it could be something that could be Googled. I'm just not gonna answer. It's not no bad or good thing. That's the thing too. Is like, what can I ask? I don't want. No. You're not harming anything. Ask anything. If you want to ask
So that lets you
why
know that
Donald
the
Trump
black
hair
woman
piece is
don't
orange,
want
that's up to
the
you.
first
I'ma
lady to
just
come out
ignore it
there.
and keep it. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, but
But why you care old black women will some? Don't
what I feel myself being so much more grounded. I had to. Matter of fact, in essence, smoking the smoking the blunts. Like, but I've been barely eating, so it kind of like balances itself out. But let's see, what was I? What question was I saying? Yeah, but rainbow butterfly, just ask a question and we'll see from there. Grow alongside this world. I kind of get what you're saying, but I mean, well, maybe because you're focused too much on the outside world and not dealing with, the inner, like you're paying too much attention to the outside world. That's why it's bothering you. That's why it becomes a problem. Matter of fact, back to my Instagram analogy. Instagram, like, oh, I'm not gonna get an Instagram because it's too messy. No, it's not too messy. You just pay attention to the mess too much. That's why. That's why you scared of Instagram because you. You know, or is that biased vibe of that identity? That's another part of identity. Like, I, one thing I'm gonna tell you, life teach you. You you never really want to say never, especially like some of like, man, I never use social media. Like I could feel that vibe from some people, like where they don't want to get an Instagram to buy jewelry from me just off of the principle that they might have said fuck technology at some point in their life or forget social media, so they just gonna like, I'm staying true to my identity even though in this moment my soul and heart want something. I'm gonna stay true to my egotistical position and not get an Instagram and go without something I want because of my identity that I am choosing not to give up. What's your thoughts on seeing a blue circle like during that instead of a golf ball? In most cases, a ball of light may be just may be high self or spirit. And again, that's a good question, and that would be like a nice little type of question that I could use like in a consultation vibe. Because what I would ask you then was like, you know, what you was dealing with before you meditated. You might have been somewhere or dealt with a blue crystal, and that was the energy from that crystal appearing as a blue ball. You know what I'm saying? Like to go deep into it. Mr. West, you got them jokes, brother. Well, it depends. If you feel you are real and God's real. That's a troll question, right? The life lessons. And I think I gotta get used to this now, though. Like, I gotta be able to read some of these questions without reading them out loud, cause I might read some old trolled out stuff. But I'm never going back to Christianity to answer that question because it's a simple. I can answer it simply. Like, why would I go back to religion? That's stupid. I got magnified properties of black tourmaline. Magnify the properties of black tourmaline by working with crystal quartz. And matter of fact, because black tourmaline, other than crystal quartz, is one of the few piezoelectric crystals. Piezoelectricity means when you take the crystal, whether you squeeze it or touch it, it creates electrical surge through it. And that kind of resonates with our nervous system, which resonates with our soul because our soul moves through our nervous system. That's why certain people try to put salt and sugars into the food because salt and sugars throw off your nervous system. That's why you have a addiction that's equivalent to addiction of crack when you're dealing with salt and sugar. That's why you always catch a craving towards salt and sugar. Like, like you feel like I want something salty, I want something sugar, you know what I'm saying? Like messing with the nervous system, dealing with the soul. Yeah, crystal quartz to magnify the black tourmaline. Also, black kyanite would do that as well, low key. Black kyanite magnifies other crystals too. Matter of fact, since I'm on this and thinking about it, and scolecite is a good crystal to, like, if you're dealing with certain crystals that may have contradicting energies, or their energies may be close to being contradicting or seem like they may be off. Scolecite is like the mediator between crystals. Scolecite is scolecite is like that mediator that allows for the qualities that could go together, to blend together and blend together, in a beneficial way. Why why do I damage my temple with smoke? I damage my temple with smoke because I don't see no good or bad thing in smoke, and I don't see no right and wrong in living my existence the way I feel I should. That's probably why I damage my temple. Cause sometimes damaging things, why would I damage my temple? That's almost like asking God, why would He create slavery so we could love freedom so much? You know, I don't know. Sound like you trying to make me feel bad for smoking. It's all love, though. It's all love. Be free. Paco Boyd, what's up? Sex magic with crystals. Use carnelian and citrine, orange kyanite, and fire agate, and some crystal quartz. And put a grid out in a room with those crystals while partaking in your sexual healing with your partner. Y'all get to that orgasmic vibe. You want to be picturing the things you want to manifest. But those crystals, I said carnelian, orange kyanite, fire agate, and I forgot that quick. But anyway, y'all heard it from the first time. But anyway, that and crystal quartz to again amplify the sexual energies within, and amplify the first. And then be careful with that, because as soon as I thought I said it, but be careful with working with those crystals if the person who you're dealing with the sex magic with is somebody that or say for it may be somebody that you don't want to bring in a new soul into this existence with, or maybe you know at a time that you don't want to bring somebody into existence. So be careful with orange kyanite and the fire agate. Well, be real with you, and the carnelian, like, cause those boost fertility. You know, if you're not looking for things to be fertile in that manner, then you might not want to deal with those crystals, that situation. All right, no, I haven't met the emerald looking lady on any of my DMT trips. Matter of fact, and speaking of that, I got a psychedelic playlist right now too. Uh, so definitely check that out if you're into want to know about my experiences. Ooh, how does marijuana play a part in my practice specifically? Well, for sure, I use it. I mostly use it to tap into my feminine side and to get away from the logical side. I use it to calm and rest. I use it to amplify, you know, the psychedelic vibe sometimes. Because sometimes, like with smoking the herb, I get like a psychedelic vibe. I could almost feel like I'm out of my body, literally. Uh, but in most cases these days, it's more of a pleasurable grounding factor. Because of course I could just try to do meditations on grounding and whatever, but I like herb. It is the prop that I like in this physical matrix, in this movie that we're playing in. It is one of my favorite props. And so I'm gonna use it because I have no reason to quit. Now, I did have reasons to modify my usage. That is a fact. Like, I couldn't smoke all the time like the way I used to. Even now, like before I do videos and stuff like that, like I don't, matter of fact, because, like, say for instance, this is my reward blunt. Like, after I do this video, and I done did like two or three other videos, which each one was probably like 30, 40 minutes. So I done put in my work, and it was time to indulge later on. And matter of fact, just being myself. I don't have no other reason to explain why I smoke herb except for it's just part of my being. It just always resonated with me, you know. And of course, you could say the addiction part, but I done tapped out of it enough of times to know I could do without it, or not say that I could do without it, but that let's just say I done tapped out of it enough to know that I could I could deal with it without being controlled by it. But that aspect still exists, as far as like if I'm not careful, though, I can slip into letting the herb smoke me and me not smoking the herb. You feel me? Straight Panther. Uh, I haven't dealt with natural citrine, so I don't have any reference to compare. So and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm something or know something that I don't know. Pretty sure if I tap in, but I don't have time to do that in the middle of a video. But nah, I'm not familiar. But I will say that I feel less just with any manufactured crystal. In essence, I just feel less of a earthy connection with most either modified or manufactured crystals. It's just a less of a vibe. But with other manufactured crystals, when I think about it, I don't even deal with them because I think about gold stone. I never owned a gold stone ever in my life. I mean, once some of that was just glass broken down and then re-put together, I'm like, man, that's a science project. That ain't no crystals. I could do that myself. I don't know. It's just, because of course I think of like, yeah, well, I use argon pyramids, argonite pyramids, but at the same time, I don't know, goldstone is just like it's faking like it's a stone or a crystal, and it's not, and I just wasn't feeling that vibe. So, yep, yep. And again, just vibing with the God consciousness, the consciousness of being balanced, you know, like God can't hate one part of itself. You ever seen a crazy person or somebody who we call crazy? Matter of fact, yeah, look, uh, somebody that society calls crazy, and which is a mixture. This vibe is a little bit. I'm about to, anyway, cause say for instance, I don't like to use the word crazy in a derogatory manner, but like say for instance, the people, not say crazy people, people who just don't really even function in this world properly in essence, because they're always like they might be walking around like fussing at themselves like this, that, like why the fuck you did that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what God would be doing by, uh, feeling so separate and being against another aspect of itself. That's why this last stint of our existence with this over masculinity has been, a lot of insanity, because it's an insane vibe to not embrace the wholeness of of the existence. Matter of fact, that's why. Matter of fact, it's funny we got into that a little bit because the feminine principle became a shadow aspect of just Western civilization. So they took it out of religion and out of everything, but they put it into everything indirectly. You know what I'm saying? Where George Washington wore wigs. If you look at their shoes closely, it was like little high heel shoes, the tight pants. pants. You know, the Masons kind of got like the little fake little Adam and Eve skirt, or that's what their apron represents. You know, like the little Adam and Eve skirt, or Adam and Eve noticing that they were naked in the garden. You know, but matter of fact, the church wearing robes. You know, in essence, was like a dress. You know, but that feminine aspect is hidden under, all the over masculinity. But you see why a man talking about, yes, a woman comes from my real life, basically trying to be a woman, like trying to have a baby. And that's where you get, those type of vibes, and why they want to create these fraternity like vibrations. But I digress. Yeah, certain crystals will be different and like have different vibes in different places. You know, if you're talking about, like, if it comes from a certain particular area, definitely. But as far as like working with a crystal, and like, because I get a different vibe when I'm in the forest than when I'm in the city. I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, but I mean, for the most part, it's just more of the outside conditions just changing the way you interacting and feeling with the crystal, but it's not necessarily the crystal changing its vibe in essence. Matter of fact, this process is a little trial and error vibe too. Cause I'm starting to see, like, all right, I want to balance out having a certain amount of information and reading scrolling through y'all notes, because I don't want to sit here and be scrolling too long and not just basically while I'm scrolling without even sharing information. But to just back off a little second, get into one of the vibes I want to mention: spiritual politics, and how it's a free game to manifest, whatever we want in essence. But it's certain groups of people, you know, may be trying to forcefully see a certain outcome, on a vibe where they're trying to influence you to see the type of world that they want to see, and not necessarily the one that's just truly the world to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more so with the vibes of like how they want to see it. But definitely be aware of the spiritual politics when you watching videos. I always make people aware of, like, when I'm doing videos, like, take what resonates with you, leave what don't. Like, you should have your own inner guidance, and with your higher self on how to fully carry yourself on your spiritual path. We all uniquely different. You know. Oh, I don't know where that's coming from. Must have had that conversation I missed. I see something about stop the fear money. Oh, we. No, I mean, I'm joking. Be free, but I'm a realist though. I could tell, like, I'm just be real saucy with you. I could peep the smallest aspect of, like, when we word things a certain way, we have a certain intention that we're trying to, like, a certain something we may be trying to touch on the way we deliver a message. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I just speak to that truth, you know. But again, that's why I was like, yeah, it ain't no, no harm done. Wait, the death. You say read something about seeing death. Avoid. Can we avoid getting there? We not trying to avoid death because there's no such thing as death. It's a transition. There's no such thing as dying. That's what meditation and connecting with psychedelics and all that is for. The bliss experience is for you to remember that you are a soul on a human experience and not a human being spiritual. You know, that's the main thing. You're not a human being spiritual. You are a a spirit or a soul on a human experience. Butter me llama. Blessings from Colorado. But that's basically it on my point. I just was kind of wanting to deal with y'all, a little bit. Oh, thanks for that super chat, Vayu Yama. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. But just right now is the time to really, what I've been really getting the download on is to just share with people about the wholeness of being God, And another thing too, for me, getting back to that vibe also, like my higher self been telling me to get back to being, my greatest version in the essence of like dealing with the information that is quote unquote far out there, you know what I'm saying? Like the information that, most, of course I'ma still have that grounded vibe of like some, you know, why I could have the information to where it's somewhat digestible to most, but for the most part, I'm here to talk on experiences like like basically, and not that I say, for instance, not that I looked around on YouTube and like, all right, other people doing things this way, so I'ma just be completely different this way. But I just saw the way I truly am authentically, and I saw the void, and of course I, you know, did a few things to fill the void, but for the most part, I just saw that when I look around, there's nobody talking and speaking like me with this type of, these type of ideas, like the type of vibe I'm on is like, well, I'm too, like I'm in that middle place, like I'll say some shit that's agreeable to black and white people, and I say something that's agreeable to black and white people or any people of any rate, what I'm saying, of any color, quote unquote, whatever, because I like to go from that mid spot, what I'm saying, just being true. The truth is not going for any side, it's just being truthful, you know, no matter where I get my crystals from. I mean, just feel the vibe of the crystal shops. And matter of fact, I do have check out that on my crystal playlist. I got a video about how to go to the store and pick your crystals, but uh, it matters where you get your crystals from and the vibe of where, you know, as long as you feel the vibe of the place you're going to, then it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're feeling like the vibe of the place is like where they just not really, like they taking away from the energy from the crystals and they not really caring about them, then, you know, because some people are just, just sell crystals just to sell them. They don't care about no properties. They don't really care where they come from. They just like, here, this crystal, $5, you know. And to each his own, but it'll be those vibes that you might not vibe with as far as purchasing from people on that type of vibration. see. Comedian Barry Allen, you represent the archetype of my extreme silliness. Like, a matter of fact, that's an example of that. Like that comment that the brethren comedian Barry Allen made, where he just told him to climb the tree behind me. That's some silly shit that I would do or tell, in certain moments. You know what I'm saying? And he's just a personification of that archetype within me right now, being that we all basically are reflections of each other, a figment of each other's imagination. I heard of the Egyptian lotus flower before. I'm not too well versed on it to go into it now, but I want to use natural resource to enhance my spiritual experience. I mean, natural resources, you mean like, using crystals. Crystals is a natural resource that could enhance your spiritual experience. In fact, Moldavite would definitely enhance your spiritual experience. You know, I think Moldavite, even the yogis that meditate all day, every day, I think would feel the vibe from Moldavite. Because you would think like, because they connect with those vibes all the time, that they wouldn't even really feel the vibe from the Moldavite, but Moldavite definitely come with that energy on a transformational level. That is possible. I know I'm not as lucid with my dreaming. I'm more, I deal with the physical realm more, which I always spoke to in my videos. I'm like, it's something about me with my lucid dream. Like, I get into dreams every now and then, but I know it's some aspect of like just some inner, whether it's an inner demon or just something that I gotta deal with or work on. But just in the sense of it being possible, yes, it's possible for us to meet up in those higher dimensions and have a meeting. Matter of fact, if you look at one of my latest videos where I explain some stuff from my LSD trip, they actually have businesses on the higher dimensions already. You know, that you could tap into if your consciousness. So basically, like a hotel resort on the sixth dimensional level. You gotta be able to tap into it on that level to interface with it. Lucid dreaming is visualizing is lucid dreaming is basically like living your everyday life. Meditation is sitting there and being quiet. To Cheyenne, meditation is more so like sitting down, quiet in the mind. You know what I'm saying? Compared to lucid dreaming, where the mind is all into some type of stuff, and you're actually visualizing things. Hey, blessings, Barbara. Thank you for that support. Emerald Angel, blessings, blessings. Appreciate the vibes. Yeah, that Moldavite is the truth. Where do you start with meditation? You start by going watch my old video about meditation. That's where you start. You know. And the reason why a lot of us, starting off, we seem like we have the illusion of things is so hard. It's just your ego making it seem like it's so hard. We're talking about sitting down and being quiet. We're not talking about trying to create the formula to create fuel for a new age car that could float or anything, it's meditation, and I'm not trying to clown you, but it's more an aspect for all people, a lot of people, and even a part on my growth, it got times where it makes meditation seem like it's so hard or impossible. That ain't nothing but your ego, and that's why I told a lot of people, like, start working on. Just gotta put your first foot down, cause part of your ego too is asking me all these questions instead of doing it you know, where ego just trying to get you to just stall as long as you can. Like, well, basically you're gonna lie to yourself and tell, well, I ain't gonna start till I get the right information to really know about it. Like, man, you better follow your intuition and sit down and try to find out how to meditate, or deal with it in some type of manner. You know. Yep, and staying in the present moment is meditation as well. Hi, right, Mr. Will. 11:11. I know. Look, y'all. Y'all gotta. I I uh. I hope I'm not hurting none of y'all feelings. I'm just getting back to being more blunt. And then two, we got these energies moving around. You know what I'm saying? We got retrograde energies left and right. So, you know, we going through different vibes. But for me, I am going through a transformation of being back more stern, more upfront, because I don't know why, but I started picking up this pretentious vibe of LA, and I kind of slipped into this place of like stop being real with people, and it's like nah, like when I first started my spiritual growth, like bro, I was like 100%, like I was uncomfortable real, like to the point where fake people or anybody on that level wouldn't even kind of come close to me because I was just being truthful, like you know what I'm saying, like on all levels. If you say something and mean something else, I'm gonna speak on what you meant, not what you said. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and that's why I'm just getting back to that vibe. So, please, don't take my straightforwardness as harshness, because we all trying to be straightforward. That's why I would tell people on my growth, I'm like, do you want a yes man to be fake with you? Like, people who fake around you, you don't get no real growth because they just telling you anything. You know what I'm saying? They just like, oh yeah, well, whatever, just smile, whatever, just to keep the peace and say the peace. Like, it's like, say what's really on your mind, or say what's really in your heart. Say it with your chest. Shout out to the people in the chat room that's answering questions that I'm not answering. That's what it's all about right there. Just that team effort. Ooh, all right. That's another thing. When you're meditating, you want to, too, outside of, all right, of course, meditation, you want to have your meditations to clear your mind, but you also want to practice visualizations, but not just visualizations to manifest, but you also want to visualize moving your astral body. Matter of fact, speaking to that person who asked about astral traveling earlier, but damn, as soon as I did that, showing me that I went off too far. Talking about astral. Oh dang, I'll get back to it. Oh, seeing yourself in third person, when you're meditating, like that was the first signs of me. Like I was doing this before I even had knowledge of meditation and stuff, where I would sit down and view the inside of my grandmother's house when I wasn't at a house. And I don't know if I was seeing it in real time, but I would see it, in my mind's eye nonetheless. But like, well, practice looking at yourself in the third person aspect when you're meditating, like sitting down quiet and envision yourself like standing over yourself and touching on your crown chakra, or envision yourself putting some energy into your dantian or your sacral chakra, and of course, as you get more advanced, that's another thing too. What I'm catching, a lot of y'all. That's why I'm telling y'all, it ain't y'all fault or nothing bad about y'all asking the questions. Just some of y'all just extremely new to either my channel or just to this growth, and I'm not the person that has the breadcrumbs. I do have older video, but again, you gotta do the work. You gotta sit there and go look through my videos and see what titles resonate with you. Because I do have a few older videos that may resonate to more human aspects of things or the beginning nature, but a lot of my stuff is going way far out there, you know, to a certain extent. But yeah, but definitely getting into that place of visualizing the body in the third person when you meditate. Man, it's a world built on lies and fakeness. Matter of fact, I don't even want to go into it because I just did a video earlier that I'm gonna drop that talks on that. Uh, you see that's my bluntness. It was about to come out, and again, you know, for the bloodstone, I was about to say one is African and the other is not. Let me quit being facetious. I'm not familiar with African bloodstone or regular bloodstone. Even though I feel like I heard that maybe African bloodstone would be bud stone, BUD stone, but I'm not familiar with that. Matter of fact, and that's the thing too. Again, don't be afraid to ask any questions. You know what? I guess so, man. I think California uh does have that vibe, Miss Barbara, but it's not nothing. Outgrowing relationships. You just gotta be strong. That's it. Like literally, like we're being asked to be grown ups on a soul level. That's all. You know, like some of the questions y'all asking is like a little kid asking, and again, not to clown, like, why I gotta do this, or why I gotta do, what, and showing too is the childlike nature in our existence. Like well, we moving from that less mature part of our being, of our existence, and moving into our higher self and our mature ancient primordial God self. And that part of ourselves don't not even worried about asking the question about how to grow the relationships and how we're gonna handle it, but to to uh to have reverence for your question. I'm not wanting to disrespect it. It's it's being strong and knowing that what's best for you may not be the things that makes your ego comfortable. You know, like, say for instance, you know, we love eating like all kind of sweet stuff for the most part. That sugar vibe. Eating cookies, this and that. But growing now, we know that damn, like too much sugar or sugar in general could throw off your spiritual growth. So you just gotta grow up. It's like, how do I quit cookies, and how do I deal with it? You just gotta quit the cookies and and deal with it. You just gotta, if you want to see your soul transform and ascend to a different level, then you got to do what you got to do. Trust me, I'm dealing with stuff where it's like I just got to do what I got to do, you know, and never be hard or mad at yourself or harsh on yourself. It's a constant growth, you know. We're on a constant journey. The businesses I spoke of earlier, I can't remember. I'm not much on having a. It's a balance. You want to have goals to a certain extent, but I'm just being, and just being now, being present in every moment, following my intuition. That's where things get out of hand too, because we projecting too far into the future, project too far future, and now you're anxious and like you got anxiety about it because you see your now, and your now may have, like, we got fluctuations of energies going on, so your now might change up, but because you got this certain idea about your future, it's like, oh, it creates anxiety. So I'm not, you know to each his own on how we deal with that vibe. Some of us are good with the setting goal vibes or whatever, but on a soulful spiritual level, I just feel like it's unhealthy. Like I feel like I'm just way more in the flow and in the vibration of my, in my being, when I'm just going with the flow in essence. Yes, I would name none. Just send me some information on my Instagram or whatever. Solo sex magic is possible to a certain extent. The orgasm in general creates that burst of energy. That creative, like, energy. That's why, matter of fact, when making a sigil, when you draw out a sigil, uh, you're asked to visualize it while doing something that feels extremely, good, or like something relieving, like, so, like, say for instance, being in a stretch position and then coming out of that stretch position while you're looking at your sigil, you're feeling that bliss of like, ooh, that felt good. You know what I'm saying? It's like to somewhat mimic orgasm. To have that sex magic type of vibe. So with the sigils, but yeah, it's possible, but it's way more powerful. With the partners, and especially with the feminine energy, with the womb energy, the creative energy present is definitely going to create high levels, on a high level, I should say. Good question. Three-eyed angels, you get a sticker for that. Get a sticker. Whew. Give you a little sticker. Uh, Speaking from your experience, how have you remained non-judgmental and far-moving within unification when faced with mental and intuitive opposition inside? That's a good big question. Well, for sure, how do I remain non-judgmental? It's two things, Seth. For one is the meditation that keeps the calmness inside, and also keeps a certain high vibration. And when your vibration is at a certain frequency, you're able to feel a connection to the all a little more when you're able to feel a connection to the all, and when you and also having the aspect of knowing that everything is a personification or a personification or a manifestation of what's going on inside of me. So it's like, how could I judge something outside of me when I know it's a manifestation of something that's going on inside of me? The moment I start becoming judgmental of something outside of me, I become insane. Because as a being, I know better. You know what I'm saying? I know that and then too, my DMT trips taught me that I am everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we are figments of each other's imaginations. Like, I'm basically sitting here by myself right now in the essence of it. you know, which is a little too deep for the human mind to grasp. That's why I be having to digress from some of those conversations, because I could feel it in my own being, where I could almost feel like a balloon, like like I was a balloon being held by somebody, and when I get into those little higher little vibes of that nature, it's like somebody let go of the balloon string. Like, I just stopped being grounded. I have videos where I just get completely lightheaded, but it's from just like channeling information on that level, where it's just where it lacks grounding to a certain extent. So that's why too, a lot of times, because I'm learning from experience. Like, I could only learn from experience, so I gotta do the videos and see, like, all right, I kind of messed up right there, or whatever, and then learn from it. you know. But I definitely have videos, some videos where it seems like I'm everywhere with it. It's because I'm getting the information out, but I haven't fully grounded it in essence. But yeah, dealing with remaining non-judgmental, those aspects, just realizing that everything is a reflection of yourself, meditation, dealing with psychedelics, that all broke that down for me. you know and when faced with the stuff inside, I just just look for the origins to see what, like, all right, I did this, or I had this thought. That must mean something got programmed, something new tried to seep into my subconscious. Let me see what's going on inside there. You know, but again, it's always ourselves. It's internal. Yes, Cloud 913. We do crave the sugar because we really be on the fruits. Appreciate that, Josh, Mr. Josh. Yes, growth is being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about like little kids having problems in their joint. Like, might have a little pain or something too, because they growing fast or whatever the case may be. Matter of fact, that's why, like, I've been through a lot of you know quote unquote stuff, on the ego level, on a physical level to a certain extent, because the growth is coming fast, so it's gonna be very uncomfortable to my, for my ego, kind of pointing to my house's transition now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, the fast growth is gonna be uncomfortable. Messing around with that moldavite, blame it on the moldavite. Yes, Barbara, which I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana, which is 45 minutes west of Baton Rouge, and I was staying in Baton Rouge before I came here. But yes, I do want to get a career back in New Orleans. I'm seeing the vibes in New Orleans you know, kind of raising on a certain type of level that I definitely want to be a part of. Also got that Marie Laveau energy out there that I want to reconnect with now, since I'm on a different level spiritually. Definitely like to go to the grave site. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm about to soon close this up, y'all. Let's see. Do you have a favorite crystal combo? I do, Sarah. It's malachite and black obsidian. Nope, matter of fact, and it's basically a combination I'm wearing. It's malachite, black obsidian, and lapis lazuli. Like I feel like that's Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson from that old. In fact, I probably went over so many people's head. Possibly it was an old school cartoon with those three on there. But yeah, that's what I think of them as. Though that's funny though, because that's what I like. I think of like that's the truth for me. Like their energy is just are very strong and high vibrational in essence, but at the same time so grounding at the same time. So I definitely say those three are my favorite. Virtual hype. Whenever I start following my own advice, cause I'm definitely one to. Cause the only way to know there is a problem is to admit there is one. And my thing with my music vibe is I just been talking about it more than doing it. I just need to put the pen to the paper or holler at my brethren and ask them, check out the beats and really just get back into it without talking about it. You know? That's the thing for a lot of us. A lot of us sitting around talking the good one. You know what I'm saying? But it's about doing. It's about being. That's why it's all about the now. You know, the now is not about 10 minutes later or tomorrow. I'm gonna do this shit. I'll wait till next week. Let me do it 10 minutes later. Right now, like, cause I'm getting back to implementing that in every aspect of what I do. So if I look at a message, it's like answer it back right now. Don't ignore it and answer it later. Like now, everything is about now. Now, like be in the moment. Like act now. Cause two, if you do that all the time in your existence, you'll never really even have time. Like you'll start experiencing so much synchronicity, you'll start to see the importance of it. In essence. Quote, dang, all right. I'm gonna have to come back to the video and see your email address. Everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Yes, I did have a little revamp of the Dark Knight of the Soul. Matter of fact, I could say it's probably around the time when my book sack got taken for a second time. I like to say my higher self stole my book sack from my lower human self. Hey, Lucid, check out my psychedelics playlist and check out videos by Terrence McKenna. Definitely somebody that'll help. Please talk about aliens. Let me tell you about aliens. The aliens are us. The alien situation is indirectly a situation to basically discredit melanated people. You know, like ancient aliens, all that is just to just say anything created this but black people. A lot of people beat around the bush about that, but I keep it real. Like that's what that shit all about. We are the aliens. Shit. It's like I wonder what type of being, like acting like they speculating and all that shit because they know what's really going on. You know. Look, I ain't even. You answered that before I even seen your answer, 3-eyed, ain't? Like for real though, man. That smoke screens, man. That smoke screens. I'm the damn alien. I'm the Moldavite. I'm the alien. I'm the meteorite. I'm Pluto. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like even enough to even say that, you know what I'm saying? Without feeling some kind of way, but I won't say it again. That's the only curse word in essence, you know. God damn it. Because you're damning the God within yourself in essence by saying it to a certain extent. I still feel like words carry as much weight as it carries in our own different unique perceptions, you know. Because a little kid that don't know that isn't taught to take words so serious could say some of these things and they won't have that effect because they don't take it serious, you know. If you take a certain word so serious, then you know, kind of like with the peace thing I always bring up, you know, if if it resonates with you that the peace sign stands for separation, then yeah, you know, that's what the vibe is for you. You know, and that's why you might want to change it up. But if it's not, then it's not, you know. For some people, the swastika still represent, you know, the ancient vibe that it represent. I forgot what it was for. I can't recall, and I just came across the information. But yeah, you could look at the swastika for what it truly is, and you know, started as, or you could look at it for what Hitler tried to turn it into. It's your perception, it's your choice. Man, yes, mugwort is a great herb for lucid dreaming. I done smoked it, took it in a tea, and just simply put it under my pillow. You know. Matter of fact, that's another reason what I didn't bring up why I smoke. I smoke because I'm here in this physical existence to experience. You know, why not smoke is the answer to that. Why not? Could preserve your body and you could stay in this in your light jail cell longer. You could stay in. And there's no bad or good to our existence. It's not a good or bad thing to be in a physical or good or bad thing to be in a non-physical. You know, it's like you know, just treat your temple with respect. You know, and reverence. You know, like of course, if I was smoking out of control and just ignoring, then yeah, it would definitely have like an adverse effect or like a bad, you know, quote unquote harmful effect on me. But you know, if I'm doing it in the light of, you know, in a high vibration, and it's all good. Yeah, definitely with that mug water, it's definitely a good one to deal with. Again, it's so strong that you could just sit it under your pillow, you know, on that type of vibe. Yeah, rainbow butterfly, no problem. I kind of, ooh, Barbara, that's somewhat of a good question. Like if it was worded, like I get what you're asking, like about the God, the maker of so many planets, and we are the only one on this planet. Like I get what you kind of, I get where you're coming from in essence, but it, it it's just too much. Damn, I might be able to see why. I mean, planets in essence, as above, so below. A planet is a representation of an energy inside of you, you know, indirectly. So I mean, a matter of fact, I just say like a planet too, to a certain extent, is like a representation of us. Like we're like planets onto each other. You know, we orbit around each other at certain times. You know, like I might only go holler at somebody and plant like we are all of that. You know, and it's a little too much for me to get deeper, but it's still a good. All right, all right. Saying reconnecting, I thought that then kick me off. yes, the herb does affect remembering dreams. I'm the first to tell anybody, man, it's the smoking aspect of herb that messes with us, you know. And it's for quote unquote better or worse, because I like using the herb too. Honestly, I like to purposely like when I smoke herb, I'm purposely trying to not say damage, but I'm trying to take away the logic. Like I'm trying to stop my brain from being overly like logical and trying to crunch numbers and all that type of stuff. Like I'm smoking to like just like brush getting that feminine, just be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the herb smoke because it's the smoke. Your brain is made out of water. You know, the the fact that it's herb has nothing to do with it, but the smoke is drying up that water and messing with that water in your brain. The water, you know, you also have electricity in your brain. If the water content is not fully up to par, that means you know synapses of thoughts, you know, on a electrical level is not flowing properly. Hence the reason why I don't like smoking before my vehicle because is already to the point where I'm channeling, like bringing down certain information and trying to listen to my higher self and talk to y'all while I'm listening to my higher self, and then and having the smoke where it kind of then damage the water in the brain. So like I'm a little off with the segue and stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely affects the memory. The sun symbol. All right, that's what the swastika was. The herb runs through lower chakras. Yes, the herb does. No, the herb connects you more. The herb connects you to the more physical existence. I say the herb does connect you to your lower vibration of your existence, but at the same time, I would say it connects you to your higher self as well. Because again, like I done had some of my best meditations in like little psychedelic vibes after smoking herb. Again, we'll start as we continue to grow. We'll all start to realize how uniquely different we all are. Like where it's not gonna have one set template for all of us to grow spiritually. Like some of us have to not touch a psychedelic. Some of us have to not touch herbs. Some of us, the only way for us to fuck with this earth, this smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all different vibes for different tribes, different strokes for different folks. Whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote. That's how it go. And I got a video speaking on how the smoke is actually is almost like the air, like the oxygen or the air for the ancestors on a certain type of level. Well, I think it's more so the probably like our reptilian Draco's ancestors on some other stuff, but you know, like that's why like with smoking or like say for instance with the altar, like you got the cigar for Papa Legba or Goon and stuff like that that what I was gonna say, that energy I fell out of what I was gonna say. I don't know if I was gonna say it creates a connection, what? Oh, connecting with the spirit realm and how the quote unquote like what's the air or the oxygen in one of the ancestral realms is just like the equivalent of smoke. So all right, y'all, we got it in. I appreciate the participation. Hmm. Let's see. Before I go, how do I feel about Hinduism? I don't deal with no religion. All religions. I, think about it like this, y'all. I am God. I am everything in the universe. What I exist outside of the realm of language. I exist outside of the realm like I am everything. Why am I a religion? Like God is everything. Like a religion is only a few people. A religion is only a certain section of people following a certain section of rules and that don't really operate on how the universe fully operates. Religions is just human moralistic vibes of connecting to God. But the Hinduism is like they still got a caste system. They still got like an egotistical system within the Hindu vibe. Looking at somebody as lesser or more or whatever, whatever. But now I definitely vibe though with the information and the deities and the beings. Like they do have information from that diaspora, so to speak, of that that has true information that resonates on higher levels. Like meditation, like if anything, like the meditation techniques and stuff like that with yoga and the breathing techniques, like that's real. That's 100. I see like I'm able to do amazing stuff because of breathing techniques. I just leave it at that. As far as like where I'm able to, say for instance, smoke herb and not be so affected like how other people may be being affected by herb, or how I could possibly eat a cookie with eggs in it or something like that and not fully just turn all the way over, because I'm bringing that light right back in, right where it was, right where we left off. But the breathing techniques is definitely real. But yeah, the Hindu vibes, because matter of fact, Kali Ma and Lord Ganesha, that's my part of my divine parents, part of, or in essence, when I say divine parents, part of the soul spark or essence that I am in essence. You know, I mean, you got the angles of light. The angles of light from the Son of God, quote unquote. The archons. The kind of like the reptilian, quote unquote, angels or angles of light. But, is you got quote unquote angels on different sides of the polarity. As a matter of fact, and see, that's what everybody gotta get. You gotta expand your mind to a level, expand your being to a level of knowing that God is everything on all levels. You know, so God, God is even the messed up religions that I'm speaking about, but it's more so as being those religions as a contrast, so you can see what's truly real. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see my dad beat my mom, then I know how not to treat a woman, in essence. So if I see somebody muck it up with this religion shit, I start to see like, all right, I really start to find my true self because I got like the contrast that makes me act stronger for truth and sends me closer to what I'm really looking for. I never heard of that terminology, but actually I do trip sit. If you meaning like if I walk people through their psychedelic journeys, yes. I'm a modern day shaman in that essence. Like that's the closest to a shaman that I get. Like where I walk people through their psychedelic experiences for the first time. Definitely. All right, y'all. I am out. Peace and blessings. Matter of fact, I'm about to spark up this herb. I gotta go drop this other video. Thank y'all for the love and support as always. Matter of fact, don't forget if the information resonates with you, it's helpful to you in any way, form, or fashion. You feel like my videos help you on your spiritual growth in some way, form, or fashion. Uh, all any and all donations is greatly appreciated. You know, that's basically it. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all for participating in the live vid. But I'm about to go get my little smoke on, my little reward. I did my work for the day. It's time to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Being responsible with everything you do. That's all it's about. If you're gonna eat meat, just know the consequences that come with it, and show love and blessings to that animal. That's all it's about. Peace, y'all. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, y'all.